Here's a question for you on a Monday morning. What do you think of all those AI images your friends have been posting? Well, they might look like fairies or action movie stars. Those images, we know, are created by a program called Lensa. And you might be tempted to send in your own pictures to do the same, but before you do, experts warn, look at that guy, he looks good. There's some things that you should probably know. Joining us this morning is bioethicist Carrie Bowman. Good to have you with us in studio. Did you do this?
Happy to be here. Well, I tried a variation of it because a friend does it, and I don't love it. I did it for the sake of this story.
Yeah.
I looked a whole lot younger. I looked a whole lot better. All those things, but it's not really me, and it doesn't really interest me either. Let's start with what is Lensa, right? So you submit, let's say, 10 to 20 selfies or selfie-like images to a company. And what they do is they create, I think it's called magical avatars. They create variations of how you would look. And they're enormously scripted in a lot of ways.
And flattering.
And flattering. And often what happens, not that in and of itself is wrong, but what they do is they really look for a social image of the way people are supposed to look. So things get edited away, like body types shift enormously if body types are involved with this to a standard expectation. People of color sometimes come through looking lighter. Age tends to soften. So, in some ways it's a lot of fun, but really these idealized images are being really driven by social expectations, which can be very cruel and very narrow. So people have to decide how they feel about this. But look, that's not the only ethical concern. And here's a bigger, and that's not so much ethical. People need to decide for themselves if they're comfortable with those images. Right. But here's the thing, it's the artistic element. So what AI and programs like that do is they're scanning the internet for styles of art, styles of art, and they're pulling from God knows how many sources. And as they take them from artists that have created styles of art, including styles of portrait art, they're not compensated in any way.
Yeah, we've got some images of that if we can bring those up to show.
Let's.
And you can see the corner of some of them where the signature should be of an artist is actually a scribble. This is what you're referring to. It may or may not be taken from an actual artist. This is what we're talking about, where it's been blurred out.
Okay, oh, that's even more, that's pretty clear, isn't it?
So where, you're saying that it's a pulling together of all these images, but where are they getting the data from?
Well, they're just AI scanning constantly online, and what happens with the art is that it's not compensated, it's not recognized. And artists, give us a lot in this world and often don't get very rich doing it in many cases. And, it really is unfair. So what happens with emerging AI is that the laws have not been able to really keep up with this in terms of copyright law. It's very difficult and very murky. And ethics is even further behind the laws, because I would argue that this is fundamentally unfair when you're really pulling from all these images. There's been situations where they've even pulled from medical images somehow. I don't know how they've done that. So, that's a concern as well. Well,
in its privacy policy, Lensa notes that as to your photos and videos, these are deleted from our systems within 24 hours from their upload. At the same time, it also adds, we use your photos and videos to train our algorithms to perform better and show you better results. So if the images are deleted, how are they also used then to improve AI? And what are better results? What does that mean?
I don't know, because I don't understand that. I read that too, and I don't get it. So, it sounds like, I think the actual images are deleted, but AI is constantly working all these other types of things. So, I think the infringement upon artists is really quite unfair. And if people use as a defense, well, we're not breaking the law, law and ethics are not the same thing. They really aren't. Ethics is what would make something fair.
Right.
And, so there's that as a concern as well. And then, of course, you've got your face, which is photographed and used. And facial recognition is really something that's taken off. And in some parts of the world, that's been used against people. The police can use it. And some people would say, well, let the police use it. The police are helping us. But not everyone is comfortable with police methods. So,
especially people in racialized communities.
Absolutely,
we've seen reporting
they're not.
As to why.
Absolutely, they're not. And, do you really want your face on a large database? So again, people need to decide for themselves about this, but it's not benign. There's nothing to this.
It's not just fun, is what you're saying.
It's not just fun. And, then the other thing is the psychology of what you look like online is so different than what you look like in real life.
Yes,
and you may think that's fun for a while, but, this puts pressure on people as well, because they know that's not really how I look.
You're right. Carrie, great to have you back here in studio. Thanks for delving into all the issues behind those fun images that we were looking at last week. Thanks so much.
Happy to do so. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.